Welcome to the Crimeycade podcast. I'm the mad conservative crime fighter and Stephen Lucas, 1991 Nintendo Campus Challenge National Champion, 2021 Goblin Ghost Arcade Gamer of the Year. Well, it's winter. I can tell you that. It's snowing outside, or it was. Uh, and with that, the snowfall, yeah, cold and flu season comes along with it, and I've been a bit under the weather this week. So I could go visit family over the weekend, and then I wake up after coming home the next day, ready to go back to work, and I've got some sort of bug. It starts with a sore throat, and then it progresses to a runny nose, maybe a few muscle aches or chills, but had to use the nasal spray, get those nasal passages open, and have plenty of Kleenex next to me to deal with my nose running. So it is what it is. And geez, this weekend it's going to be the deep freeze, the real deep freeze, sub-zero weather, and geez, Saturday I had to deal with a wrestling show, and I'm kind of halfway wanting it to be scrapped due to the expected snowfall, which is supposed to be another 3 to 5 inches to come down, and we're supposed to get 2 to 4 tonight. And I'm about to be joined by the real star of the show, the orange furball. Well, if you want on here, get up here. Here he comes. You can figure out how to jump. Say hello, you goofball. Yes, this is the real star of the show, Cody, the pod crasher, who loves to interrupt the show all the time. Yeah, and I also got to worry about coughing up a storm, so I could be hitting the mute button quite often during this podcast if things get to be a little bit of a mess. And welcome in Jay Pinkman, who stopped in. He's streaming tonight. Nightmare James, hello, how are you doing? And he wants to climb on the desk, and I don't want him to. Anyway, let's get to it. Oh, and there he goes. This idiot. Yeah, he jumps right up here after I put him on the floor, and he's right back up here. It's like he can't help himself. Anyway. All right. Get through the slides here for a little first few slides here a bit. Last week, our guest was Jackson Kubler. Wow, he's back up here already. You got something you want, little boy? Yeah, he's gonna be a distraction all night. He's lured by something. I don't know what it is, but anyway, Jackson Kubler was our guest last week. He is the host of Two Consoles Too Late. That was last week, and we had a nice little chat. And maybe I can be a guest on his pod in the near future. And welcome King Cam for popping in. So let's start off with the sad news. As expected, Nick Huddleston did succumb to his illness. He was suffering from on top as a result of complications. He passed away earlier this week. Good grief, he's only 30 years old. Wow. Or 35. He's 35 years old. Actually, just short of 35. His birthday is actually later this month, but he passed away a few days ago as he was taken off life support and then moved to hospice care, and he passed away at the age of 34. He was a graphical artist and drew a number of art art drew a number of arts inspired by Mortal Kombat. He also did other video games such as Metroid. So leaves behind his wife. He leaves behind and family. So best wishes to the Huddleston family on their loss. Speaking of Mortal Kombat, one of the actors of the Mortal Kombat movies has passed away. Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa passed away at the age of 74. Earlier this week, he played Sang Sung in one of the MK movies. So he was involved in several other films. I don't have the list to me, but in terms of the gaming scene, he acted in Mortal Kombat. Well, this is a little bit of interesting news here. Rumors are flying that it's game over for Arcade 1-Up. A leaked memo, which may or may not be legit. Claims are flying that Arcade 1-Up is going to announce tomorrow that they are closing shop. And after 7 years, it's the end of the line. And they've been struggling. I mean, they haven't been able to get any new licenses of late. And then they just keep doing rehashes of Namco games and then Mortal Kombat and whatever else. There's a lot of arcade games that have not been put in an Arcade 1-Up as of yet. But it appears the game for them is now over. And high scores this week at the Galvin Ghost Arcade, and not much going on. Everybody's focused on their challenge cards, but New Zealand Story, as I mentioned last week, Jason D of the Garcade has a new score on that game far above anything else that's been recorded, 765,000. If that's recorded and submitted to Twin Galaxies, that would be a new world record. Sean Backey at Galvin Ghost has a 13 million score on Armed Police Fighter. Andrew Wasco has taken back the score from James White on Samurai Fighter Shingun, and JP Pitts continues to up his score on Power Stone. 3,900 there. So, anyway, so we'll pause this. So we are going to go ahead and bring in our guest. Of 20 Nintendo World Championships. He is also a 3-time World Dr. Mario Champion. His name was suggested to me. My bandana decided to come undone. His name was suggested to me by Mega Retro Man Paul Tessie, and I've been on a hunt for guests lately, and I need to talk to some of the modern Nintendo champions. So I'm part of the classic era. But there's the 20 teens era of esports with the Nintendo World Championships. So, join me tonight. He's known as Packy619, Patrick Haendle. Welcome in.
Good evening. Good to see you. Let me make sure I got the camera angle right here because.
Yeah, I keep bumping mine because of a four-legged feline just keeps deciding to jump on the desk.
Yeah, cat's gonna cat. That's all I got to say to that.
Yeah,
we got a couple in the house. They're usually in another room, but
well, mine crashed the stream.
Yeah, that's what they do. I'm sure one of ours will start walking across my keyboard eventually. You know.
Yep. Well, so I did not get to participate in the 2015 Nintendo NWC. I tried to qualify 2017, but I seem to recall that people who got in had to deal with Mario Kart and glitch their way to a fastest time, which is kind of crappy in my opinion. But 2015 I heard about it, but schedules didn't line up for me to even make the trek up to even try for it. So I guess briefly tell me what you had to do to get into the Nintendo 2015 championships.
Okay, well, the 2015 Nintendo World Championships basically had 16 spots in the finals. 8 of those were reserved for basically 6 speedrunners, like well-known speedrunners, and basically 2 internet celebrities. I believe it was Joven Shire and Ego Raptor, Aaron of Game Grumps fame. He was the only one of them I recognized when I got there. But the other 8 were determined by qualifiers in 8 specific Best Buys littered across America. And I believe, I'm getting the impression that you're in the Illinois area, so I believe the Chicago or Schaumburg location would have been yours to try out at.
It would have been actually Elgin. No. It might have been Skokie.
Yeah.
Somewhere. It was cut. I had to go into the Chicago Loop and heavy traffic, and it was not fun.
I mean, heavy traffic is never fun, but that's beside the point.
Well, I live in a rural area, so.
Oh, well, there you go. But if you did make it to the Illinois qualifier, you would have had to contend with BSG 4000, who won that regional. And a guy named Mike Iarosi was there as well. He actually was in the 1990 championships, and he won in 1994.
Yes.
Like he actually talked to me about his qualifier, and he said he choked on Dr. Mario, and he said he was pretty close to being the only guy in all 3 NWCs.
The guy he beat for 94 actually knocked me out. Brandon Veach was the runner-up, is who Mike defeated to win his world championship. He got in via my birth town of Mount Vernon, Illinois. I messed up. Doggone,
Well, I've played the PowerFest 94 kart, and I mean, RNG can get you. I mean, the last game is Ken Griffey Jr., so.
Yeah, but I wasn't playing it that way. I was going for my points in lost levels and spamming the turtle.
Oh, yeah.
They tried to
that. Like I remember people in the 1991 Campus Challenge were doing Mario 3 and getting their points there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did too, but I known about Goomba Stomp, spamming the Goombas.
Yeah.
But apparently you could have earned more points spamming the hopping the paratroopers, but didn't know that back then, and nobody else did either.
Yeah, but to paint to paint the picture for everyone for the 2015 qualifiers, like they jam you in. They get you got these long lines at the Best Buys, and they jam you into this. At least this was how it was in my location in Torrance, California, by Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They had like a setup of tables, and they had like 10 or 12 3DS consoles set up. I say
Hmm.
consoles, but they're handheld, obviously.
Yeah.
And they were the new 3DS XLs, and they were kind of trying to show them off, sell them. And
Yeah, and I bought one to practice on for
yeah,
2017. That didn't go right.
yeah. So a quick fun fact: I didn't have the 3DS version. I had the Wii U version. I had NES Remix 2, and that was what I practiced on. And they do work a little bit differently, but
Mhm.
I can get into that later, though.
Right.
But basically, the game was Ultimate NES Remix, and specifically, it was Championship Mode. Anyone who's familiar with the Nintendo competition carts will be familiar with the format, because this is kind of a mishmash between the 1990 and the 1991 competitions.
Right.
First, you get 6 minutes and 21 seconds.
Yep.
First, they stick you in Mario 1, and you have to get 50 coins. Once you have that 50 coins, they take your score, they double it, and they set it aside. Then they stick you in Mario 3, and you have to get 25 coins. And once you have that, they set that score aside. There's no multiplier for it, and they just add it to your Mario 1 score.
Yep.
Now, after that, they put you in Dr. Mario, medium speed, level 0. And with the time you have left, you just got to score as many points as you can.
Mhm.
And your Dr. Mario score gets multiplied by 100. So immediately the strategy is obvious. Just plow through Mario 1 and 3 as fast as you possibly can. And then Dr. Mario, you don't have to just get deep into the game. You have to be able to land big combos to be able to win this.
Yeah, I wasn't that good at that.
Now,
Although I didn't realize the boards were all the same either.
well, the thing is, the boards are always the same in the 1991 Campus Challenge.
Yeah,
In Ultimate NES Remix and NES Remix 2, the championship mode, they're not always the same.
they mixed them up.
Yeah.
So
But
different
the fun
players
thing,
got different boards.
yes. And sometimes you can just get shafted with a bad board that you just cannot possibly combo on. But I mean, first you got to know how to combo well, and then second you got to get the right board to do it. So, also initially, everyone was under the impression that you only got one shot at this.
Yeah.
But some locations did not have long lines, so they started allowing retries. Now, for the record, I did not take a retry because I was not aware I could, because I didn't want to hang out at Best Buy for 8 hours. So,
I
but
did it. Well, almost not quite 8 hours, but
maybe I should have stuck
initially.
around. Maybe I should have stuck around just in case anyone had interest in talking to me. But at the same time, I was in Southern California.
Yeah.
I had a feeling it was going to be the toughest qualifier of them all, and I felt like even after I got my score, I thought there's probably somebody in here who can beat my score. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm going to go home.
Right.
So just to go through my run really quickly. So in Mario 1, I had a tendency to get the mushroom because the last thing I wanted to do was make a mistake where I end up dying at a point I don't want to die at. So I was literally thinking safety first a lot, because it's like, okay, this is my one shot. I do not want to screw this up. So I'm trying to make it impossible for me to have a catastrophe.
Right.
So I got through Mario 1 and Mario 3 pretty quickly. I don't remember having any problems on Mario 3. That's pretty routine. That's literally the way I've played Mario 3's stage 1 since I was like 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So Dr. Mario comes around. I'm motoring through. I'm not getting the best boards. I'm getting some combos, but I'm not getting like the optimum combos that I really want. And I think through level 2, I had a score of somewhere around 18,000 points. And translated through the multiplier, that's 1.8 million, which is it's a good score, but I don't feel like it's a winning score at all.
Right.
There were a couple of qualifiers where like a 2.1 or a 1.9 would win, but Southern California, that's not going to happen. I mean, I already knew that anyway because two or three groups before mine, there was a gentleman by the name of Vince Clemente. Any of you who have any familiarity with the Tetris community know who Vince Clemente is. He runs the Classic Tetris World Championships. He's the CEO of the whole thing.
Right.
And he got 5 million points on his run. I saw the score on the DS next to mine. And
the
devil. Guy, what's that?
Hold on. I got this queued up. Throw this on the screen.
All right.
This is it's not Tetris, but it's Dr. Mario. That's you and Vince?
Yes.
This is
bit of a spoiler right now. I am revealing to you the origin of our rivalry.
Okay.
But yes, I believe this particular video. Oh, I didn't know if you wanted to keep playing the video or if you want me to keep talking. Hello? Okay, so.
Stand by.
Oh, there you are.
Cody just tried to bite me, and so he's been ejected. He just tried to bite me, and then I was like dodging his bite, and then I clicked on something and I exited the stream. So now I gotta load this. Now I gotta share this, bring this back. Dang him.
Okay, so this video in particular, I believe, is from the 2018 CTWC. This was one of the side events we were doing. We were doing a Dr. Mario tournament just to kind of show everybody what was going on here. And Heather also participated in this tournament, and she was a tough customer. But yeah, the first Dr. Mario Championships, the finals were me and Vince. So there is some there was already plenty of history between us at this point.
Did that stop? It did stop.
It did stop.
Good grief. There we go.
Yeah,
I need to move this to the other window. That's what I need to do because this stand by. Technical problems. Good grief.
Yeah,
I have this full screen and then it decides to pause when I take the focus off of it. Anyway, go ahead and continue.
This was the 2018 side event at the CTWC, the Dr. Mario tournament. This was the final between me and Vince. I had just beaten Heather in the semifinals, who is the wife of the late great Jonas Neubauer. See, I misdropped the double blue there. Embarrassing. Anyway,
I'm trying to get resituated because of that cheap shot by my feline. Yeah. He bit me like a couple of months ago, bad enough that I had to go to urgent care.
Ooh.
Yeah. Attacked me in bed while I was sleeping in a fit of rage over displacement aggression. He saw something outside, and because he couldn't get at it, he just attacked the nearest innocent party.
Yeah.
Me. So, anyway. Let's see what we got here. You got
this
top out here.
I mean, I have always been an extremely aggressive Dr. Mario player. I will go for combos early and often, and I will try to top you out early. I kind of liken it to boxing in a way. Like, I don't want this to go to a decision. I want to knock you out. I want to top you out early and often.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you pick up the controller and sit next to me to play a game of Dr. Mario, I want you to feel like you just got into the ring with Mike Tyson. That was always my mentality, and that's just all aggression from there.
Right.
Like see, our boards look kind of even. His is a bit higher, but the right-hand side of our boards are kind of cut off.
Unless you go horizontal.
Yeah, at this point, you kind of have to go horizontal. I mean, if you really want to get crazy, you see that little blue fragment near the top of column 8 on my screen. If you horizontal that, you could just drop the yellow in and get a combo out of it. But that's kind of a crazy stat to do, because I normally don't want to deliberately build up that high if I don't have to. Yeah. See, here I would just be perfectly content to horizontally clear probably the blue virus here, so that I can go in between the reds and then drop everything down.
Right.
But everything I'm getting though just kind of gravitates me towards the left-hand side right now, though.
And Vince is in deep trouble here.
Oh, that was a bit of a panic flip with that red yellow on column 1.
I see. Yeah.
And you just start getting a little twitchy with your thumbs. You might get a little nervous, and that's when it gets you. That's when you top out. Is you just have to keep your cool no matter what the circumstances, and just figure out what you have to do. And that can be really hard sometimes, because deeper and deeper into a Dr. Mario match, the speed gets faster.
And you've won 3 titles.
Yes. 2017, 2018, and 2021.
See, look at this. You're
nowadays it's a lot harder, because there's a lot more competition now. The community has grown, and I think that's an extremely good thing, because that's what it's all about. If it's just like a few people that show up and I win all the time, that's who cares, you know? The more the merrier.
Right. I know all the attention's been, just that it appears that way. How is it? How are Dr. Mario tournaments going? Up in the last few years.
How have they been going the last few years?
Or how often compared to other games?
I mean, how often do I play other games?
No. How often are Dr. Mario tournaments being held?
I mean, the Versus Championships happen once a year, and that's typically in Ohio. This most recent one last month was in Cincinnati. But we also do monthly speed tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Like speed running, not really Versus, but there's also monthly Versus tournaments on Fightcade that Leviticus runs, and he does a really great job with.
Now, the boards are random. How do you learn how to combo when you don't have much of a lead as to what's coming apart from the next one to drop?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, in Versus mode, if you both play on the same level, you're going to have the same board. But when it comes to the combo game for the NWC qualifiers, you really have to have it down to a science, and that's kind of part of the appeal to me. The appeal to me. It's not the same every time. Every level is a new puzzle to solve, to figure out.
And here you won this. You have defeated your nemesis.
Yeah. So, fun fact. So Vince Clemente got his 5 million points, and I was mentioning I had like something around. I don't think it was 18,000, but it could have been like 22 or 28,000 going into level 3. Mm-hmm. That's like a 2.2 or a 2.8, and I started piecing together a really big combo, like probably an 8 or 9 virus combo, and everything was falling into place wonderfully. but I needed 2 specific pills to complete the chain. Now, the thing about Dr. Mario RNG on NES is it has a lot of unique quirks to it. Like red yellow and yellow red are actually considered different pills in the RNG calculation. That's not the case in future versions of Dr. Mario. Like the Tetris and Dr. Mario on Super Nintendo, they're considered the same piece. But because they're considered different pieces on the NES RNG, that means you have a 1 in 9 chance to get a double solid pill that you need. And I needed 2 of them in a specific order. I needed a double blue and I needed a double yellow. So I started finding places to throw some pills I didn't need. And then I saw the double blue in the next box. I'm like, okay, good. That's 1. And then as I was placing that on column 8, I saw the next pill was a double yellow. And I just said, okay, let's see where this takes us.
Mm-hmm.
I drop the combo, and then I look at my score. It's 52,000. I already know that I have beaten Vince's score, but there's a little over a minute left.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to hold down my excitement because I still need to play. Plus, I have 11 people around me also trying to play. I don't want to go crazy and distract anybody. So I just keep it in. And I managed to get like 2,000 more points, because the thing is, when you get to the end of a level and there's like 2 viruses left, you can't really score much of anything off of that.
No.
So I finished with a 5.4 million point score. I put the DS down as gingerly as I can, trying not to press anything. I back away, and the clerk just stares at me like, "You seriously beat him?" And he was loving it because because he was from San Diego, and at the time I was wearing a T-shirt that said, "And on the 8th day, God created San Diego." So that was kind of a cool moment. But when I got that 5.4, I stepped away and I said to myself, this was my best shot. I have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Let's see how it holds up, because I bet there's somebody in line who can beat this score.
Dr. Mario skills also played a role in trying to make the My Campus Challenge cartridge world record. I don't have the world record. I just won the campus challenge. But
yeah, congratulations, by the way.
Yes, thank you. You were I guess you played a major role in trying to determine builds to get the NCC 91 score higher than anything ever thought of. Kind of tell me how you got to work on that project.
Yeah, so one of the gentlemen in the Dr. Mario community, his screen name is DM Hero. He developed a tool called Granivore or something like that, where what you could do is it would give you like a bottle, and you could like input, okay, there's a red virus here, there's a yellow virus here, there's a blue virus here. And what it could do is tell you what seed it is. And plus you have to specify the level. And what I was basically doing was I was looking at Paul Tessie's run on the 91 Campus Challenge, because he had the world record at the time. And I was trying to see if there was a way to squeeze more points out of these levels.
Mm-hmm.
For levels 0 through 2, I couldn't see a way. For level 3, though, once you reach level 3, there's 16 viruses on the board. Now, there's an additional quirk of NES Dr. Mario that not a lot of people necessarily know about. If you combo more than 11 viruses, because ordinarily, if you're playing on medium, the viruses for each clear on a combo would be 200, 400, 800, 1600, 3200, 6,400, and then it just stays at 6,400 for a while. Normally, once you get to the 12th virus, the game starts screwing up the score. But for the 12th and 13th virus, I think it gives you like 2,000 each for those, which is not a lot. But for the 14th virus, it gives you something crazy like 25,600 points or something like that. So so I knew that in order to really squeeze more points out of levels, say 3 and 4, I had to figure out a way to combo 14 viruses. Now I used this tool, and it would not only show you the seed, but it would also show you the pill sequence on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I used the snipping tool because that is the extent of my technical expertise. And I just used markers to plan where I would place each pill to see if I could build this massive 14 virus chain. And at the same time, you also have to be careful when your combos get this big, because when your combos get this big, they're prone to freezing the game, just locking it up entirely. Like my first few times attempting this, I froze the game at level 3. But then I found a way not to do that. And once I did, I got the first 20 million point score. Now, other than that level 3 that I devised, I basically used Paul Tessie's run to get that score.
Mm-hmm.
I was basically copying his notes, you know? And what he has done from there is pretty incredible, because it's not just because now his strat involves building this gigantic combo on level 5, and you have to be a very fast player just to get to that point.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be a bona fide speedrunner to get there. So my respect to him, I tip my hat, because he got like 62 million or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Nobody, I don't think anybody's breaking that.
Now, it could be tied.
Well, yeah.
Do you think you'd ever, let's say, try to break that 60 million barrier, or make an attempt?
I'm honestly not sure. I'm reluctant to try it, to be honest with you, because I don't think I could get to it that quickly. But it's probably worth a shot one of these days. I just haven't really played competition carts much lately, unfortunately.
So, well, let's go back to the 2015 World Championship.
2015 championships.
Let's see. I got it queued up. So, well, do I want to play the Mario Kart run or not? Well, I got that.
Oh God, the Mario Kart run. Oh.
I feel your pain, because I can't hang with them players either. There's no way in Hades, and that's every game con I've been to. There's a Mario Kart tournament, and
of course we start with Baby Park. Oh, and by the way, a fun little disclaimer: this is the first time I ever played 200cc, ever.
And is that normal? How do you get to? I mean, usually it's like a 50, 100, and 150. Is that something that has to be unlocked? Is 200?
I think 200cc became like downloadable content that was free. But as you can see, I am in no way prepared for 200cc. I am super late on all of these turns. It's terrible.
Yeah, and the other issue I've had is like apparently you got a skid or
a power
slide or whatever it is.
Yeah, I have no problem. I have no problem power sliding, but I have never braked in Mario Kart in my entire life. And one of the things it says when you're about to pick 200cc is use your brakes. It's like I never use my brakes. I don't want to use my brakes. Got to go fast. But you do need to pump the brakes to keep yourself from catastrophe in 200cc, and I was clearly not good at that at all. Here I'm just abusing my super musher, but I'm 11th out of 12 racers here. I had a really rough time with Mario Kart.
Mario Kart gave me a hard time back in 1994 Powerfest. Brendan Veach would basically power slide every curve, and I never could figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I could figure it out. I played a lot of Double Dash, and I felt that was a lot easier to power slide in.
Well, Double Dash, yes, but this is like Super NES Mario Kart, the original OG.
Oh yeah. And I mean, that was in Powerfest '94, I believe.
Okay. So Powerfest '94 was Lost Levels,
Mario Kart,
and King Griffey. Yep. Excuse me once. I gotta hit my mute. Anyway.
That seems to be going around. I had that problem a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, well, it just hit me, and I asked my family if any of them got sick, and they aren't. So I must have got it on the ride home from there. This game. So I guess I was watching this at some point. Maybe I was watching this live. I'm not sure. But after the Mario Kart, you got sent underground.
Yes.
And surprise, surprise, they pull out. And I got to bump this a little because it's not moving. Balloon Fight comes out. How shocked were you when this was pulled out as the game you had to play?
I was less shocked and more worried because I played a lot of NES Remix, and there were two games in NES Remix that I was not good at: Clue Land and Balloon Fight.
And ironically, when this game popped up, that actually motivated me to go buy a copy of Balloon Fight at a GameCon. I don't see it up there. I was going to go walk over there and bring it over to the table, but I should have got that out ahead of time. But
I don't have my NES library within arm's reach, unfortunately, but I do have a copy of Balloon Fight that I bought a year or two later at a Retropalooza in Dallas. I bundled it with Dragon Warrior 3 for $70, or it might have been 60. Yeah.
Now, here's another fun fact about Balloon Fight: the NES version and the arcade version, major differences. The arcade version of Balloon Fight is 2 screens tall.
Yes.
So it scrolls up and down. The bonus stage is completely different.
Yeah. I remember playing the arcade Balloon Fight. That was pretty fun.
I know Garcade up in Wisconsin has it. Or I believe they do, or at least another arcade up there does. A couple arcades up there have it. Galloping Ghost Arcade does not have one of these on their arcade floor available for play. If they have it in a vault, I have no idea. But I have not seen, I had no hair of it. So they gave you, just to give the briefing, they gave you 3 minutes. You could play as many times as you want.
Yeah.
And whatever your best score is during the 3 minutes, they
whatever your highest score is, that's what they keep.
Yes.
And I didn't have a great score. I think it was like 7,000 or 8,000.
One of those times you did break 10. I did watch this ahead of time, and one of these runs here you got to 10K, but somebody, I believe the guy in this corner, got maybe 12 or 13.
Yeah, I think I remember watching the second group, and there I am getting eaten by the fish.
Yeah.
I remember watching the second group. I swear Aaron Hansen almost won this. I think Cosmo got him at the last second with like a 19K or something like that.
Yeah.
But it might also be a blessing in disguise because I don't know if we're going to go over stage 4 at all or not, because you are interviewing me after all. But there was no way I was getting out of Smash alive.
Well, that was another thing. Every game con has a Smash tournament,
Well, yeah, I mean
and I can't hang with them either.
Yeah, I mean, Smash is super popular, and I get why. I haven't really played a tournament fighter habitually in a pretty long time. I think the last tournament fighter that I played regularly was like Soul Calibur 3.
Which I enjoyed the Soul Calibur series, or at least
Yeah.
I had 2 for the GameCube, and I played through it entirely. But I had hoped that game would come up.
I borrowed Soul
Bloody
Calibur.
Wars.
Yeah. I borrowed Soul Calibur 2 from my friend for a long time. Had a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah. This continues for another few minutes.
Yeah.
Shoot. Well, I can advance it up to Smash. I mean, good.
Yeah. Fun fact. John Numbers.
Goldberg, also known as Goldberg. Goldberg.
Yeah. But John Numbers at the time had the world record for highest score on Ultimate NES Remix Championship mode. He had like I want to say like a 10.5 million or something like that on the online scoreboard.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think it was 11.5. It was in the 11s.
I'm not even sure who is who in this match here.
John Numbers is Shulk. I know that much, because he usually plays as either Shulk or Wii Fit Trainer.
Okay.
I'm not sure who the other ones are though.
Shulk, I don't even remember what game he's from. Maybe
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, okay.
Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is actually a fantastic game, and if you like RPGs, you really should play it. It is fantastic.
I have not played it, but then again, I have a Nintendo and not a PlayStation or Xbox.
Well, Xenoblade it's on the Switch. You can get it on the Wii. You can get it on 3DS. Okay. But the Switch is the definitive edition, so I suggest that one. Yeah, John Numbers and I, the night before the tournament, we were all hanging out and getting food at a restaurant, and we broke out our 3DSs and played Dr. Mario Miracle Cure against each other. And we were starting to kind of get vibes at that point that he might be the guy to beat, because he just seemed enthusiastic about this on another level. We actually played some Smash that night in my hotel room, and he was just absolutely killing me.
Yeah, I'd be throwing a fit too. If I was like not being able to land any damage.
Yeah, it can be frustrating, but we figured he was the guy to beat for a reason. So he
Why
is the man.
There 2 player 3s?
There must have been some kind of like power up that he got, because like I think like if you grab a Pokeball in Smash and bring a Pokemon out, I think it also gets the P3 label, just so you know they're the ones who have that Pokemon out. So if you're not that player, you might want to avoid him. You know what I mean?
Right. And I believe this is, so they were doing it by most knockouts, not how many. Yeah,
I know the other players were Cosmo, Trihex, and Mad Mage. I'm not sure which ones they were though.
There it is.
Yeah,
Trihex, Mad Mage, Cosmo. So you were correct on that one.
yeah. John Numbers was on my Splatoon team in round one, and we just destroyed.
Yeah, that's Paul Tessie's favorite game.
Yeah, he loves playing Splatoon. I have barely played it since the NWC, to be honest with you.
Truth be told, the last modern console I've gotten is the Wii. I don't have a Switch. In fact, in the last 10 years or so, my focus has been on classic arcade games due to basically going up to the Galloping Ghost Arcade in Brookfield, Illinois, Chicago area.
Yeah,
Have you ever been to Galloping Ghost?
I have not.
Have you heard of it?
I've definitely heard of it. I mean, Mike Iorosi probably goes there for all I know. I actually know him fairly well now because it's we know each other through the Game On Expo in Phoenix, and he runs a tournament there.
I've been trying to meet Thor Ackerland. You have shared the stage with him on a panel.
Yes, I have.
I think in Dallas. Or
It wasn't Dallas. What happened in Dallas was he was scheduled to go on a panel, but he didn't show up because he had car trouble. Because like I actually broke out my phone and messaged him on Facebook and asked him if everything was cool. He said, "Yeah, I got car trouble." But yes, we were on a panel one time. It was my first time going to Game On Expo. It might have been 2016 or 17. I
I
don't
think
quite
it's
remember which.
It's 2017.
Okay, that sounds right.
There were some
Because
other.
because Mike is friends with Dorian Whitlock, and he who also competed in PowerFest '94, and they invited me over to do a panel with them. It was me. It was Chris Tang, John Numbers,
Yep.
Thor Ackerland, and Mike Iorosi. I was the only guy on that panel without a world championship, so
There it
that
is.
was yep.
I have not. Yeah, I've only met Chris, but Goldberg, Thor, Mike. Well, I might have met Mike if he showed up at one of Walter Day's Iowa. If he came to one of the card ceremonies in Iowa, maybe I met him there, but I don't think I have.
Yeah.
I've always kind of thought I was in. Thor came before me, and I've always thought, he got more attention than I did.
Yeah, Thor, the original hyper tapper in Tetris.
Did he hyper tap back then?
Yeah. Yes, he hyper tapped. He hyper tapped in the NWC, as far as I know. If you watch the documentary Ecstasy of Order, the Tetris Masters,
yes.
they talk about Thor Ackerland because he could like vibrate his thumb so quickly that it could actually move pieces faster in Tetris than
he wasn't
the usual.
tapping the back of the controller.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't doing that. He was just vibrating his thumb so fast it was actually moving faster.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how he basically set the bar in 1990.
Right.
Nobody else really picked it up, as far as I know, until Corion did for the CTWC.
And then somehow, I guess it was, I don't know if it was Blue Scooty or somebody else learned how to make him go faster by tapping the back of the controller.
Well, I think the idea originated from a guy basically taking his arcade style controller, and he was like kind of rolling his hands like this across the button.
Mm-hmm.
But on an NES controller, that's not going to work. I'm not gonna do this because I need to have a thumb on the D-pad. So what they figured was, okay, what if we use the controller itself as a button? So basically,
Second, I didn't hold it like that. So, good grief, I got
I
a
mean,
mess
this
over
is
here.
obviously the classic way to hold a controller.
With your thumb?
Yeah.
Well, I never held it like that. Or at least thumbs here. I never held it with thumbs here. I always held it like this
Oh, really?
and
Okay.
rocked it back and forth and tapped the buttons. And that's
So
how I play.
I know someone who has like a plastic board who sets his controller and plays like that. The guy
Yeah,
named
I always stood up, standing up like this and holding the controller like this, playing the game. Always.
Interesting. Okay.
That's when it came out. I was trying to figure out how to use this controller, and I just
So
did
so
it this
so,
way.
so fundamentally, what rolling is basically you don't want to completely press left or right, but you want to press it just enough to where it's not quite registering yet.
Mm-hmm.
And you're basically taking your other hand and rolling your fingers underneath the controller like this.
Yes.
That's how they do movement. That's how they're able to play level 29 and beyond. Blue Scooty didn't invent rolling, but he was the first to get the game crash. And that takes a mastery of rolling. That takes a pretty long time to accomplish. Guys like Blue Scooty, Fractal, Eric ICX. I think Cheese was the first roller.
Scooty was the first one to kind of clear all 255 levels, I think.
That was Dog, actually.
Oh, okay.
Scooty was the first to crash the game on the original cart. Because most Tetris players play on a modified ROM, and it's still fundamentally the same game, but it also removes a lot of the bugs and annoyances of the original cartridge. Because if you watch Ecstasy of Order, at the very end, you see Thor Ackerlund actually reach level 30. But when you look at the level indicator, it actually says level 0.
Yeah.
What's happening there is something screwy within the code where it just starts showing the wrong level. It's like it'll say
letters,
level 7,
numbers.
Yeah, 7B or D8. It's like, where am I?
Basically, not an integer.
Yeah. But the modified ROM basically removes that problem, and at the same time removes the bugs that actually causes the game to crash on those super late levels like 153 or 157. I want to say I don't remember the level off the top of my head, but I think it's in the 150s.
And the odd colors.
Yes, the color palette is super screwy when you get to like the 140s, I want to say.
Right.
Again, I don't remember off the top of my head, but seeing it was pretty fascinating.
Actually have one of your matches dialed up.
Okay.
With Tetris. This is against...
No, this is Josh Tolles. This is 2018 round 1. This is the round of 32. This is actually the deepest I ever got in a CTWC. What happened in 2018 was they expanded the field to the top 40 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And I was number 39. Josh Tolles is seed number 7. And I got to tell you right now, you see that my stack is really, really high right now. But for me, there is a fascination with being able to dig through difficult situations like this. I know it costs you a lot of points in the long run, but...
Yeah, because right now you're like under 45 under.
Yeah, I'm down by quite a bit, but I'm digging through it. Finally get that crucial long bar.
Yeah, and this is another game I can't keep up with anybody with. It's like I'm having to try to figure out where to put the piece, and I'm spending too much time thinking, and then
I don't know why I made that move. I think I had a momentary confusion there. But okay, this is game 1. But Honestly, dude, keeping up with the Tetris field now, like if you legitimately want to make a gold bracket, it's almost impossible. You have to be a roller for starters. And learning to be a good roller takes a long time.
I will say this. There is they do still have they still do a version of the tournament where rolling is not allowed.
Yes.
And I had the winner of that from Kansas City, the Maestro, on pod a number of months ago. Since I watched him win it live.
Was it Pixel Andy?
Maestro?
Oh no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure who that is, to be honest.
Maestro, that was his first major tournament victory, and it happened in Kansas City earlier this year. So I had him on my pod. Yeah, it was this breakthrough. So
yeah, so to get to this match, I had to play a round 0 match against Robin Mihara. And I swept
I know him.
Yeah. Pretty competitive dude. Much respect for him.
And he was also in the tournament. Classic Nintendo tournaments back then.
Yeah, I know he finished like third in 1990.
I didn't get to participate in that one either.
Yeah.
Darn it. Maybe because I didn't have a car and I couldn't drive to St. Louis. Guess I was in college.
Here I was just trying to play relatively safe while also trying to get some center well Tetrises. Mm-hmm. Because the thing about doing center well builds are more difficult to do, but I felt it would be easier for me at that point because at level 19 speeds, I really wasn't super comfortable. And plus I was a fan of Quaid, who usually did those center well builds. Because then your long bars don't have to travel as far, and misdrop of the O.
For some reason I kept wanting to go the center, and it's like I'm watching all these professional players, and they all put the looks like it's over here.
Yeah, as soon as that long bar didn't get all the way to the right, I knew it was over.
I noticed that people put their builds or leave the opening on the right.
Yes.
And don't do the center.
Yeah, because long bar rotations are biased to the right. So.
See, now I did not know that.
On the Game Boy version, however, they're biased to the left.
Okay. Well, maybe that's been my issue.
It's funny, though, because Harry Hong used to build left wells all the time when he played before the CTWC.
All right. Well, I do have here's the next one. I'll just have this playing in the background. So let's go back to the beginning. What got you into gaming all those years ago?
And what got me into gaming in the first place?
Yes. What was the hook? What inspired you? It's like, what was the first game you touched, and then you just thought, I want to do more of this?
Well, my parents had an Atari 2600 when I was a very young kid. It was fun, but it wasn't necessarily, I didn't find it necessarily addicting or inspiring, but it was fun. The first game I ever played was Pitfall. That was my introduction to gaming. And the first real hook that got me was, well, Super Mario Brothers. I played that and I thought it was awesome, and because it really seemed like Nintendo games had a lot more to them than Atari games. No offense to Atari, I love you guys, but Nintendo's what hooked me.
I know, well, so Space Invaders was my hook. And we're talking 1978, 79 versus Pitfall came out in, I believe, 82. And I got a copy of that one because cousins had it. I got
Mhm.
addicted to it pretty quick and wanted to kind of go more and more into the game, although I never got a perfect score on it because I didn't figure out, or I guess I did not figure out what was the optimum path to collect everything.
Yeah.
I had to try because there's maps now. See, you're doing a lot better here. You got that 50K lead there.
Yeah. I mean, in any competition, the moment you realize that you're starting to punch with a big dog is like a huge thrill. So I see that I'm mostly zoned in here, and I'm probably not thinking too much about the score. I'm not happy about that S piece though, but
Yeah.
so far so good. I'm sticking with them.
I mean, you got a big lead here as long as you don't make a major blunder. Minor
Yeah,
blunder won't hurt you. Well, that one may have hurt.
yeah. That
But there you
I
go.
didn't.
Got
I
room
yeah.
again.
I did not have a good place to put that piece, but opening up the gaps,
Yeah.
just
You're
nice and
digging yourself
methodical.
out. I guess with those right, the right side hole to put the long bars in, you have more room to put those odd pieces in the case you don't. I guess you got more places to put those
Yeah, but
misfitting
this piece
pieces.
sequence is not being kind to me.
No.
Yeah. Okay there. Because I'm basically trying to get back to the bottom of the board because I know I definitely need to get back to the bottom of the board and start scoring before I get to level 19 because I know 19 has got my number.
And now he took the lead, looks like, but you got that
Yep.
Tetris to take it right back.
Yep. Back and
Although
forth.
all it takes is a Tetris to turn things at this point.
Yeah, right now it's kind of back and forth. He just got one. I'm just burning lines away because I'm trying to stay safe.
Right. You got that
There's
long
one.
bar in
Got the
that
lead
belt.
back. Yeah,
So
this
Super Mario,
yes.
the you played it on the console first, or did you see it, or did you play the arcade game first? Because for me, it was the arcade version that I saw first before the console version came out.
Yeah, my first version was the console version.
Okay.
My cousin Nick had it. My cousin Nick is probably the biggest influence on me as a gamer. He was big into RPGs and adventure games, and so am I.
I know I saw. So yeah, yeah, it was the arcade that I saw Super Mario first, but it's probably 1984. It probably got out in the arcades in late 94, early 95 before the Nintendo NES got released.
Yeah.
Parents didn't want me to get one because and I wanted it just I wanted the console to get because of Super Mario. I guess it was the killer app.
Yeah.
I had the Atari 2600, an Atari 8-bit computer, Commodore 64, and I was just collecting games on those systems. But then the parents said, "Well, you need to if you're gonna get an NES, you need to start selling off some of your Atari games." Like, which I wasn't thrilled about that idea, but
Yeah.
and although I didn't actually do sell any of those games, but I guess they begrudgingly let me get an NES because I had the money.
Yeah. I mean,
From
my parents bought me my NES, so I am grateful for that.
So for the NES, besides Super Mario Brothers, gosh, some of the games you played back then looks like you're in trouble here. Nope,
Yeah,
looks like
I
that.
lost my desk charge and I couldn't get the long bar over there. I tried to get the L piece back over there, but I couldn't. So here I have a lead, but now all Josh has to do is score about 67,000 more points to eliminate me here.
And he doesn't have, and he can play it as safe as he can.
And as long as he gets there. But then that
Oh, he made a
happens.
mistake. Yeah. The question. No, I have not seen this match to its conclusion. Oh, he's in. Is he gonna get it? That long bar is gonna be a problem.
I see that piece sequence and I'm starting to lose it.
He's trying to hang on, and it's all over. Level 23. You only got to level 20.
Yeah, but my level 18 play was more efficient than his in that particular game. So yeah, I took a game off of him.
So this is going to go to a third.
Yeah.
I'm going to bump it ahead.
I mean, we didn't really bump heads. We just kind of, I think we might have just shaken hands there.
I meant bump the video ahead.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I have cut promos against other gamers. I mean.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Nice.
Well,
I should have figured by now you were a wrestling guy anyway, so you know.
Yes, I have been, and I had to deal with a wrestling show this weekend, assuming that it doesn't dump a lot more snow, but although it's coming midday Saturday, it's like people are traveling in from out of town. It's like, oh, it's risky to even run a show when all the snowfall is coming in the middle of the day. You kind of want it to fall. You kind of want to have the assurance that it's going to snow and snow a lot like the night before.
Yeah.
Plus, it's going to be sub-zero weather. It's going to suck. But
as a Californian, I feel obligated to ask, what's snow?
There's snow in the northern part of the state. I know that much.
Yeah, but I don't live in the northern part of the state. To be fair, I have seen snow in my life.
I mean, if you go in the mountains, I mean, you're going to encounter it.
Yeah. You just have to go to Alpine. That's all you have to do.
Yeah. See, look in here. Oh, he's already got that lead.
Yeah.
And problems.
I did have a brief conversation with Josh Tolles at the after party after the tournament was over, and he said he was a fan of my warrior mentality. So I thought that was pretty cool of him.
So yeah, the cutting of promos, we had Blade Wars tournament, which is a fighting game tournament, and yes, I cut promos against the other competitors. Because, well, the other thing of the matter is, and it looks like this is about over.
Yep.
There's more encroachments of the wrestling scene into the gaming scene of late. A lot of wrestlers kind of crossed over from wrestling to the gaming, and now wrestling is at the game cons. And an arcade in my area had a wrestling show inside their arcade, and some arcade owner is considering opening a promotion as well besides running an arcade. And I'm trying to kind of transition away from the wrestling stuff, but can't quite escape from it. It's just kind of followed me.
I mean, speaking of wrestling, I remember I think it was 2024. They were doing they were kind of showing off a new like retro console.
Mm-hmm.
I don't quite remember what it was, but they decided to have a little 8-man tournament. And you know who showed up?
Paul Heyman?
No.
Sable?
No.
Somebody completely different. All right. Who would that be?
Logan Paul.
I never would have guessed him.
Yeah.
He's more
He's
of an
not that-
actor than a wrestler, but he's kind of.
I mean, wrestling and acting kind of have intersections, don't they?
Yeah,
mean-
they do.
Yeah. But yeah, Logan Paul was in the tournament, and he eventually got eliminated in that tournament by Blue Scooty, and kind of pumped him up a little bit. He said something like, "Floyd Mayweather's got nothing on Blue Scooty."
Yeah.
He was pumping us up a little bit, which was pretty cool of him. And I mean, I know there's all the controversial stuff about his podcast and
Yeah. Lawsuits flying.
Yeah, lawsuits and all that stuff.
Fighting against other streamers and cryptocurrency and who knows what else. I'm aware of it, but I'm staying out of that. That's kind of out of my wheelhouse. That's for, gosh, Smash JT to talk about, or Lus, Tony Guro. So this video footage. So this footage is.
I remember this.
Yeah.
Okay, this was at Retro City Fest in 2019, and me and Bro 3256. That guy's name is Brendan, and he runs Famine He's the guy who's all about the Famicom.
Mm-hmm.
We were the top 2 seeds in this, and as I recall, this did not go well for either of us, which was a shame because we were both really good at this. I think he had I think he had a 3 million at some point during the day.
Yeah, this is I have the tournament cart. Oh, they kind of backed it out. Oh yeah, you're in the lead, so it's like top 2.
Yeah, those are the qualifying scores.
See if it goes back to gameplay.
And it's like, I cannot say no to the potential possibility of throwing down with the original 1990 NWC guys, because like the 1990 NWC has a pretty big footprint in the old CTWC scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have Chris Tang, who's still in the broadcast booth. He was in 1990. You have Thor Ackerland, obviously, who was in the first tournament, and there's some others, like, I hope I got the name right. I think it's Mike Winzenek. He finished runner-up one year, and I actually played against him in the East Coast qualifier in 2018, I want to say.
Okay.
I think he beat me 2-1, but that was like the first game I took off anybody. There's also Mike Iarosi, who was in the Desert qualifier the next year.
Yeah, crashing your vehicle just to get out of it quicker.
Yeah, you have to specifically crash your vehicle at a certain point. The indicator I usually use is what my score is. Like when it creeps over 6,000, that's when I know that I need to hit the third post on the right.
I own the cart, but I haven't really, tried to grind on it to kind of improve and be competitive. Of course, I haven't memorized the patterns on Dr. Mario either for the tournament cartridge. I just spam the green turtles, but
yeah.
Although I haven't gotten really, apart from local, I haven't really gotten invites to the retro. Gosh, on the classic Nintendo cartridges. Let's say if somebody was holding.
Oh my gosh, that was an incredibly foolish move on my part.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, this is not a good build for me right here. Like I got this too wide gap in the middle of my board. I need squares.
You recovered.
Now I have a long bar dependency, and that's bad.
Yeah, and that long bar came at the wrong time. Here we go. That helped, but
Yeah, this build is horrid.
Yeah.
Like I did not have the pattern memorized or anything like that. It's just getting worse and worse.
Yeah. Top out.
Yeah, I choked in that run.
And I see the grimacing on your face, and you're like, not like this.
Right. That sucks, but what you gonna do?
Well,
Sometimes that happens.
He's won. Yeah. Pretty academic now because he's won this thing, but
yeah.
Although he topped out too, it looks like before the time ran out. Interesting.
Yeah. That was rough.
So, and then you got to wait for the time to tick down for even to get the final score. Oh, here we go.
Yep.
Oh, that's somebody else. All right, I'll take this down.
Let me get back in frame here.
Yes. So, can you tell me? Do you run any retro tournaments? I think you do.
I myself don't really run anything. When it comes to the Dr. Mario Championships, though, I'm more than happy to play a support role. Usually I help to judge qualifiers and get that stuff organized. This year in particular was pretty chaotic because the qualifying pools were so large.
Mm-hmm.
But it was great because that meant they were also more accurate. The more data you get, the more accurate the big picture is going to be.
Okay.
And I talked to Chris afterwards, and he said I was a godsend and really helped keep things together. So I'm proud of that for sure.
Tell me about some of the game cons you've been to. You're out in California, so I'm just stuck in the Midwest. I haven't really gone super far except for Midwest Gaming Classic, which I have a streak of 21-22 going.
Wow.
Yes, I've gone every year.
Okay, so I went to Retropalooza in Dallas for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, I went there because I saw that they were having an NAS Remix Championship Mode tournament. I absolutely killed in that. I only got like a 1.9 million on my finals run, but nobody else was anywhere near that. So and my qualifying run was like a 6.1.
Right.
There was like somebody texting somebody else like, holy shit, somebody got 6 million. And my cousin lives in that area too, my cousin Nick. So we just made that a weekend thing. Game On Expo, I started going to in 2017. I was invited on the panel by Mike and Dorian, and I've been going there ever since. The inaugural Dr. Mario Versus Championships was at Replay FX in Pittsburgh, and it was there for 3 years until the pandemic hit. And unfortunately, the pandemic wiped that con off the map.
Yeah.
So that was a bummer. I've been going to the SoCal Gaming Expo on and off, but now more regularly. Because initially it was kind of more YouTuber and vendor centric, not so much tournaments and arcade, but it's starting to lean more in that direction now. And the CTWC is there now, so and besides, it's the closest one to me, so why not go, you know?
Right.
I also went to Retro City Fest the 2 years it was there, and I think that was actually I think the Retro City Fest was also in schedule conflict with the SoCal Expo for a little while. I've also done Portland on and off for a while. Portland used to host the CTWC, so that was the primary draw for me.
Mm-hmm.
I started going there in 2016. Basically, what happened was after the NWC qualifiers, Vince was really bummed out that he lost. He was actually entertaining the idea of getting a plane ticket that afternoon and flying to San Francisco and playing there also, playing in two different qualifiers. He didn't ultimately do it, but he was bummed out that he didn't win, and basically he called up Nintendo and they said, "Well, would you like to attend the NWC?" And he's like, "Well, I'm already going. I'm Thor Ackerland's +1." They're like, "Okay, would you like to get an E3 badge then?" "Oh, I'm already getting one from Patrick Scott Patterson." I was like, "Well, what do we do?" And he said, "Well, I don't have a Wii U." So they sent him a Wii U, and then he sold it for $300 because he didn't want to look at it.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Yeah.
He's bummed out over not winning or not qualifying, flies out to California, is already a +1 for Thor, getting a pass for something else, and then he asks for a Wii U.
Yeah.
And then turns around and sells it immediately.
Yeah, well, I don't know how immediate the sale was. It must have been if he was getting $300 for it, but that's what happened. And eventually, he added me on Facebook as a friend. But in the back of my mind, I was like, "This guy's bummed over this, and I don't know if I want to open my mouth because it's probably going to open that wound. So just leave it be for a while, let it heal, and see where it goes." And eventually, that's when I hear about the CTWC, and I'm like, I think this is the way I have to meet Vince. I have to fly to Portland and crash his Tetris tournament and see how I do. You know? And honestly, at that point, like, all of the bitterness, if you will, was gone at that point, and we actually became fast friends in Portland that year. And at the after party, everybody is talking about Tetris. Everybody is playing Tetris. We break out Dr. Mario, start playing Versus, and people are kind of into it. Like I get a few more people to join in and play against me. Mm-hmm. Vince and I played 3 series on Dr. Mario. I won 2 of the 3 series, and both of those were 3 games to 2. And the other one, he swept me 3-0. Mm. And I think from there, everything just kind of took off. The Dr. Mario Championships was held the next year in Pittsburgh, and the rest is history.
Have you won any of the Tetris tournaments, or what? I mean, we know about your 3-time Dr. Mario. Any other titles or championships you've won over your career?
I don't have like any major tournament wins. The closest I've come probably is, are you familiar with the Big 20?
No. The one I participate in every year is the Galloping Ghost Arcade's T20.
Okay.
Which is 20 arcade games in a tournament over 21 hours.
Nice. So what the Big 20 is, it's a speedrunning tournament. There's a community called Best of NES. Mm-hmm. And there are some well-known speedrunners in this community, like Lack Attack, the Zelda speedrunner extraordinaire, is one of the staff members. And what they basically do is they have this twice a year. They pick out 20 NES games. Now, they don't necessarily have to be NES games that are licensed. They can be Famicom games, or they can be homebrews. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they can even be randomizers. But the seed is set. It's not different each time. It's always the same one, just to keep it even across the board. But they give you 20 games and a specific goal for each game, and they basically give you 4 to 5 weeks to study and prepare to run these games on race day. And on race day, you have to go through all 20 games in succession, taking a 30-minute break between each game. At the halfway mark, you have to take a 3-minute break just so you can like hydrate a little bit, use the bathroom if you have to, because these usually run for more than 3 hours, sometimes more than 4. I think the longest one was like a 5.5-hour run for me.
This is speed running 20 games in succession. You said a 30-minute break in between each game?
No,
or 3?
30-second.
30-second.
Okay. Yeah. Gives you time. It gives you time to get the next game ready. Like I use an EverDrive, which makes it much, much easier. Because like it makes no sense to hunt down the carts for all these games, because sometimes Little Samson is in there, or Gunnack or something like that. You know? I'm not going to go out and buy a Gunnack cart for the Big 20. I'm not going to do that. And nobody expects to do that.
Some of these games are, to a collector, they're several $100s, maybe a few thousand.
I know Little Samson's Little Samson's well over $1,000, if not $2,000 right now. And Gunnack is like $400 or something like that. I do collect retro games.
One.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like these challenge cards where you have to complete a challenge on all 20 games. I know this is small, but there's a title and then a score goal you have to reach.
Okay. I haven't seen
this
one
is
of those
Galloping Ghost Arcade's challenge cards.
Okay, I see it. All right.
There's levels to these too, but that's where all the attention's been focused on this year, is completing as many of these challenge cards as possible.
Yeah. Like some relatively well-known speedrunners do these, like Arcus. He's a familiar name to me. And other guys, like the Mexican runner has done these before. He didn't do the most recent one, but in the most recent Big 20, I finished in second place. I usually finish just outside the top 10, so second place is freaking awesome. There's this one Russian guy that has been destroying the Big 20 the last 3 times it's been run. He just goes by Pikachu, but he's a killer speedrunner, and he's really hard to beat.
And where's this tournament at?
All of this is done online through Race Time. So and streaming is required for this. Like Race Time, race rooms, you can toggle whether or not streaming is mandatory for the race, and streaming is mandatory for the Big 20.
I'm gonna write that down. Race Time Big 20 NES. You have to run on the original hardware. I assume that's the case.
You can run on an emulator if you want. I just prefer running on original hardware because less input lag to deal with that way.
Okay. So that's about championships. Future goals.
Winning another Dr. Mario championship is going to be extremely hard because there are these 2 guys named Swung and Snipe who really have my number and who have been winning all the championships lately. They are extremely good at what they do. A more reasonable future goal would probably be to win a Big 20. And that won't be easy either. But I feel like at this point, I can do it if I work hard enough.
Is there any other games you're chasing or, let's say, grinding on for maybe world records or just basically competitive gaming?
I've kind of stepped back from competitive gaming a little bit lately because we just got through the Dr. Mario championships. But soon enough, there's going to be a regional in San Jose at Genesis. And I know I'm going to soon need to start getting ready for that. So I'm going to be competing in Tetris and Dr. Mario there.
Any arcade games you've Jeez. Any other gaming memories of the past, like arcades you've been to or GameCon experiences that
There used to be this nickel arcade in Santee called Wonderland.
Mhm.
Just like 10 or 20 bucks, get a bag of nickels, and you're pretty much set for the night. And that was my favorite arcade as a kid. I really enjoyed playing like the Simpsons game just for the novelty of it all. I also had a fascination with Hydro Thunder because for some reason it just felt more immersive than most arcade games I had played at the time. Time Crisis I think was a really fun one where you could hide behind your riot shield and then pop back up and shoot stuff.
Mm.
Old school arcades, I do remember playing the arcade version of Tetris. I think the Atari Tengen version.
Yep.
Yeah, that was fun.
There's been some others. Disney Tetris.
Disney Tetris. I am not familiar with that one.
Oh, let me show you. I'm gonna pull it up.
Please do.
It came out for the Nintendo 64, but it also it's called Magical Tetris Challenge.
That sounds like what it would be called.
This thing loads up properly. It's still there you go. Bump it ahead. Well, a quirk with this game is, besides getting a Tetris, you can also get oddball pieces.
There's a lot going on outside the Tetris people. It's kind of just outside the Tetris field. It's kind of distracting.
Right. Well, this is kind of a head-to-head matchup here, but the key to a high score is you want to instead of getting a Pinterest. And you see these oddball.
We got pentominoes going on here.
Yes. If you clear a bunch of lines on one side, you get fed some goofy shaped lines, or your opponent gets some goofy shaped pieces.
Goofy shaped lines. I see what you did there.
Yeah. And a staircase, and then it can even, these are some of the pieces, but it can even become giant pieces like giant diamonds.
Yeah.
But the key to getting the high score on this is you want to clear a line, then clear another line, and clear another line instead of necessarily getting a Tetris, but you want to clear multiple lines in succession.
Yeah.
And if you get over 10 lines cleared individually or doubles or triples in a chain, you can actually max out the score in one level if you clear enough lines in a row.
So these doubles and triples and such, are they just triggering these weird shaped pieces? Is that it?
I believe so, but in the single player game, it can also happen. If you, so here you go. Now you got, yes.
Talking about getting square bursted, my gosh.
And that's not the biggest piece to drop. And there you see on that side. Look at that.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Well, this is a versus game.
It is a versus game. I can see it taking a really long time though, because normally, oh my gosh, what is that monstrosity over there on the right?
There's a diamond.
Geez.
There's a, yeah. Yeah. And you get a bunch of these in a row, and there he topped out.
No. It's like a part of me thinks that I can see these matches going a long time, because if you actually know what to do with those pieces, then they're not much of a problem. But clearly it just gets worse and worse.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's brutal.
If you clear the entire well, you also get a bonus.
Yeah.
So that's story mode, though. That's not single player, but yeah. That was in one of the tournaments. I had one of the Galbingos arcade tournaments. I don't know if it was in T20. It might have been in T20. I know it was in a Pinball Expo tournament that Galbingos ran, the Super 7.
Yeah.
So There's some other ones, arcade versions of Tetris. I think they're a little more recent. I'd have to go find them. Tetris Arcade. Oh, I think it's the Grandmaster is another version of it.
Oh, I'm familiar. I'm a little bit familiar with Tetris the Grandmaster 3, which I played a little bit while I was in Cincinnati last month.
Yeah, I don't know if the scoring system is a little different. Here we go. This looks like a tournament. Yeah, this is the arcade game.
Yeah. Basically,
Scoring
it
is a
drops
little different.
it drops instantly. The only real way the speed increases from here is how quickly the piece locks into place.
Looks like it was on a console.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. Any upcoming appearances? Or
I will be at Genesis in February for the Tetris and Dr. Mario regionals. I also plan to be at the Game On Expo in March.
where's that at?
That is in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay. I know last year, Paul Niemeyer, I think Paul Niemeyer went out there. Brian Colin went out there that year because they're out of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Game On was in April, the same weekend as Midwest Gaming Classic.
Oh yeah.
Have you been to Midwest Gaming?
I have actually never been to the Midwest Gaming Classic.
Okay.
I mean, part of it's just the fact that I don't necessarily have enough PTO to go.
PTO.
Paid time off from work.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can't go too far away because one, my cat's is medicated and she has to get hyperthyroid like daily, although sometimes it's every other day.
Yeah.
Plus she's elderly. So I can't really stay away too long. Well, any closing comments or anything you want to bring up before we head out?
Well, the 2015 NWC was actually the first video game tournament I ever participated in. And
okay.
For a little while, I was actually reluctant to go because I had a bunch of coworkers who were already going to be out that day. And I told them about it, and they just said, just go. Sometimes, man, there is a moment in your life that is a crossroads of destiny. And for me, that was it. Because without that appearance in the finals, I don't know where I'm at today. I don't know whether or not I go out to all these conventions, because that's how I made a ton of awesome friends, and that's how I met my wife. So every once in a while in your life, you just got to go for it, man.
Right. And I didn't, despite all my attention towards wrestling, I didn't. Yeah, once I found the Galloping Ghost, I wanted to win stuff up there. So, and I do enter tournaments at Midwest Gaming every so often, and try to win stuff there. There hasn't been a major. Do you think there will be another Nintendo World Championship tournament? Because they had the two last decade, but none since.
Well, the thing is, they kind of did, but it was just kind of a one-off thing at a PAX, I think. I think it might have been just a Smash tournament or a Splatoon tournament or something. But it was definitely not the broad, expansive tournament that, say, 1990 was, or 94, or anything like that. So the NWC as we know it is probably done, because I don't really see Nintendo doing that again. I would be pleasantly surprised if they did, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Sega did the 1990 tournament. on the Genesis, which I participated in, did not win. They haven't done anything since then either, I don't think.
Didn't they do something in 1994 at Alcatraz?
I have no idea.
I mean,
I don't know anything about that one.
You would have to ask Chris Tang about that because he won that one. I think it was in 94. I think it was like a Sonic 3 tournament or something like that, but they actually did it in Alcatraz. And I think it was on MTV or something like that.
Okay. I believe, actually, you jogged my memory a little bit. Somebody who got inducted into the International Video Game Hall of Fame this year, the 90s gamer, was a Sega champion and won a tournament that I wasn't aware of ever happening back then.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like in between college and trying to get employment as a coder, and the coding thing didn't actually work out long term. I just fix computers now. I don't code them. Although it would have been nice to be create video games, but programming languages change so often and so fast, and you just couldn't keep up, and I just didn't have the brain power. I didn't have the mind of a hacker.
Right.
To keep up with that. So, all right. Anything else, or words of wisdom, or
just keep doing what you do, enjoy what you do, and if that thing is gaming, then keep doing it, man. Just there's no shame to be had in this hobby, because if your brain is calibrated to play games very well, it's very much a problem-solving mechanism, and there are plenty of problems in this world that need to be solved. So just keep at it, man. Keep doing what you do.
Any gamers you would like to meet that you haven't? Thor is still at the top of my list.
Yeah.
I tried to go visit him in 2018. Took the train to Dallas and did a panel, but
he
had to go to Plan B.
Yeah, he had car trouble that year. I
was sitting get off work that year. It was Christian. What's his last name? Harding or Hartwig?
I don't know.
Christian. It was the Let's Play Expo in Dallas that year.
Okay.
Which is no longer because COVID wiped that out too. But Thor showed up the following year with Patrick Scott Patterson, who I also wanted to do a panel with, but miscommunication, and he was somewhere else in the country.
Like, I haven't met Patrick Scott Patterson, but I've stood in his vicinity because he was having a conversation at the time with Joey Parker, who was part of the Tetris community and one of the first ones to really get me into it.
All right. PSP and yeah. All right. Patrick, I want to thank you for coming on the Crimeycade, and if you ever make it to Chicago to Galvin Ghost Arcade, let me know, or maybe Midwest Gaming.
All right. Cool, man.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Well, you're in California, and what's the weather out there right now?
Oh, it's great.
There's multiple inches of snow, and of course, people can't seem to drive when snow starts falling, and then they wreck.
No, nobody here knows how to drive in the rain. It's just a thing.
Really?
It seems like it anyway. I mean, I'm sure Los Angeles is even worse, but San Diego, people get the impression they can just drive like they normally drive. It's like, no, you can't.
No, especially a torrential downpour. Although that doesn't happen too often out in Los Angeles, except during the winter months, I think.
Yeah.
It's just hot the rest of the time.
Yeah. It was actually almost 80 degrees this afternoon.
Although San Diego seems to be cooler than the rest of the state.
Well, San Diego's on the coast. I actually live in El Cajon, which is a bit more inland, so temperatures are a little more extreme here, but not nearly as extreme as like the rest of the U.S.
Okay. All right, Patrick, I want to thank you for coming on the Crimeycade, and I hope to see you around the arcade
Thank,
soon.
thank you for having me. I
All
appreciate
right.
it.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right. That was Patrick Haendle, Packy 619. So before we get out of here, a little bit of an update. One more update. The Game Awards were on tonight, by the way. Let me throw this up there. Let's see. Have they announced the game of the year yet? No, they have not. Oh, they're on the main event on at this point in the show, but whole slew of different games. A lot of these I've not played. I know Norbert Fail was wanting to know what the best fighting game was going to win this year, and it ended up being Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. So, congrats to that. I'm going to wait to see what wins that award this year. So, the quick update on the chase for tokens at the Galloping Ghost. Andrew Wasco has not crossed the 11,000 mark yet, and he's actually dropped a little bit. But the orders pretty much stayed the same, as is the power rankings, as we're now into mid-December, into the second quarter of the 17th season of the Galloping Ghost Arcade. Andrew has not completed his level 5 yet. He still has to beat Circus to get ahead on that one, to move to be the first one to get to level 6. So, Gamer of the Year odds still in Mossy Segopian's favor at this moment, as he's completed more challenge cards than anybody else. So, upcoming game cons. Oh, be sure to follow the Crimeycade podcast. If you're watching from Facebook, follow me on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, follow my page on Facebook. And Gamers Wanted. And I got to announce who my next guest is going to be. But this Saturday is the 2025 Virtual Indie Games Expo. It's at a number of places in the country, but you can also watch it online on indiegamesexpo.com. You guess the Video Game Expo, Paul Niemeyer's going. So is Michael Thomason. Speaking of this, but in a moment, March 21st, 2026. Also the Como Retro. That's Columbia, Missouri. On April 18th, 2026. 1 week before the Midwest Gaming Classic. The Grand Annual Mall. Last weekend, I got to figure out if I'm going to go to Como and then Midwest Gaming. And also happening that weekend is the Midwest Comic Con in Springfield, the same weekend as Como. Although I could conceivably go on Sunday because it's April 18th and the 19th. And Paul Niemeyer is going to be back at the Midwest Comic Con. They got some stars lined up. Next week, we will have the organizer of the Augusta Video Gaming Expo, David Bryant. And we'll also have the organizer of the Kansas City Retro Game Con, Nate Walker, kind of a mini Game Con roundtable next Thursday, December 18th. That'll be the last episode, last pod of the year, unless I decide to do one during New Year's week. Certainly not on New Year's Day. I'm not going to stream on Christmas Day. I do have a guest mid-January, but I need to line somebody up for January the 8th. And that's going to do it for this edition of the Crimeycade podcast. I am going to rate a channel. Oh, I'm not going to run the closing credits because I had to reload that due to Cody being a bad boy. Ugh! I'm going to raid tonight. Let's see. There's the game stream rewards going on. Well, let me see who I'm following here. No, I'm not going to. Well. All right. Well, I'll raid John and Michelle. They're doing the game. Game of the year is up, so let's go. We'll see you next week. Have a good night, everybody.